When you think of hip-hop royalty, only two names consistently dominate the conversation: Jay-Z and Kanye West. Both are musical legends, cultural powerhouses, and billion-dollar brands in human form. But beneath the flashing lights and designer, suits lies the ultimate question fans can't stop asking: who's really the richest rapper alive, Jay-Z or Kanye West? On the surface, it might seem like Jay-Z's business empire gives him the edge, but Kanye's fashion dominance and wild earning years tell a different story. This isn't just about net worth. It's a battle of mindsets, strategies, and legacies. 1. Rose from the streets of Brooklyn to become a mogul. The other exploded from Chicago with vision, controversy, and innovation that changed the game. But behind the headlines, fortunes rise and fall. From billion-dollar deals to broken partnerships, one decision can shift everything. You think you know who's on top, but the truth may surprise you. Get ready for a deep dive into contracts, controversies, and careers that made these two men hip-hop's richest icons. And by the end, you decide who truly wears the crown. Let's talk numbers. As of the most recent estimates, Jay-Z's net worth sits comfortably at around $2.5 billion, according to Forbes. That makes him not only the richest rapper alive, but also one of the wealthiest entertainers in the world. His money isn't just from music, far from it. We're talking about liquor brands, streaming services, tech investments, and even sports management. On the flip side, Kanye West was once valued at over $2 billion, largely thanks to his Yeezy partnership with Adidas, which turned into one of the most lucrative fashion deals in history. But after his controversial remarks and the sudden end of that deal in 2022, his net worth took a major hit. Today, estimates place him somewhere between $400 to $500 million. Though some argue he still has assets that haven't been fully accounted for, like his private business ventures and music catalog. Still, money talks. And right now, Jay-Z's financial empire appears far more stable, diversified, and growing. Kanye's wealth, while once dominant, now looks volatile, tied closely to his image and personal decisions. But we're just scratching the surface, because the way they made their money tells a story far deeper than numbers alone. Music is where it all started, and both Jay-Z and Kanye have built legacies that define generations. Jay-Z's discography spans decades, with 14 #1 albums, countless hit singles, and tour grosses in the hundreds of millions. His on-the-run tours with Beyoncé alone brought in over $250 million, and his ownership of master recordings ensures Muamas Main Sapwand. He continues earning from every stream, sale, and sync deal. Kanye West, meanwhile, revolutionized the sound of hip-hop with albums like The College Dropout, Graduation, and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Though he has fewer chart toppers than Jay-Z, Kanye's influence on production and aesthetics has been seismic. His Yeezus and St. Pablo tours were not only musical events, but cultural spectacles, earning tens of millions and creating viral fashion moments. In raw earnings, Jay-Z has made more from touring and catalog ownership, but Kanye's ability to turn albums into fashion trends and launch entire brand moments gave him a unique edge, especially during Yeezy's peak. While Jay-Z played the long game with consistent releases and business-friendly moves, Kanye went for shock, scale, and spectacle. Both earned millions, but their paths in music money couldn't be more different. This is where Jay-Z truly separates himself from the pack. His business moves are legendary Roc Nation. His entertainment company manages artists, athletes, and producers across the globe. Then there's Armand de Brignac, the luxury champagne brand he bought into and later sold a 50% stake to LVMH in a deal estimated to be worth hundreds of millions. Jay-Z also co-founded Tidal, the artist-owned streaming service, which he later sold a majority stake into Jack Dorsey's Square, now known as Block. That alone added another $300 million to his portfolio. Kanye's empire was once just as dominant, though much more focused on fashion. Yeezy, his sneaker brand with Adidas, was valued at over $1.5 billion before the partnership ended. His creative label Donda spans fashion, music, and tech ambitions. And he also briefly launched Yeezy Gap, a collaboration that made major headlines and brought in serious revenue before it too was dissolved. Where Jay-Z is all about ownership, longevity, and building quietly, Kanye is known for bold, disruptive moves that either skyrocket or implode. Jay's businesses are diversified, low-risk, and scalable. Kanye's visionary, risky, and volatile. One operates like a CEO, the other like an artist with a billionaire's ambition. In the world of business, consistency often beats chaos, but sometimes chaos changes the game. If music made them stars, fashion turned them into cultural gods, especially in Kanye's case. His Yeezy brand didn't just make sneakers, it reshaped streetwear. Launched with Adidas, Yeezy sneakers sold out in seconds, commanded insane resale prices, and created an entire silhouette trend. Kanye didn't just sell clothes, he sold a vision of the future, blending minimalism, rebellion, and status. At its height, Yeezy was valued at over $1.5 billion, and Kanye was being hailed as the Steve Jobs of fashion by his fans. Jay-Z, meanwhile, has always played it differently. He launched Roca Wear in the early 2000s, a brand that was once generating over $700 million annually before he sold the rights for $204 million. He's less about designing and more about owning. He partners with luxury names like LVMH, wears exclusive pieces from brands like Tom Ford and Givenchy, and even subtly dictates trends without making a big show of it. Where Kanye pushes boundaries and reinvents the aesthetic, Jay-Z represents refined elegance and business-minded luxury. One is avant-garde, the other timeless. But when it comes to fashion wealth, Kanye once dominated until controversies cost him partnerships and prestige. Today, Jay's influence might be quieter, but it's arguably more respected in elite circles. In the battle of wealth, controversy can be costly, and no one knows that better than Kanye West. From explosive interviews to social media meltdowns, Kanye's career has been defined as much by scandal as by success. But it reached a boiling point in 2022 when a string of anti-Semitic comments and erratic behavior led to Adidas, Balenciaga, Gap, and other major partners cutting ties with him. Almost overnight, Kanye lost over $1 billion in estimated net worth, a historic financial collapse tied directly to his words. Jay-Z, by contrast, has maintained a carefully curated image. He's had brushes with headlines his past dealing with drug hustling, the infamous elevator fight with Solange, or business beefs, but he's never let controversy derail his brand. In fact, he often uses it to his advantage, turning personal moments into lyrical masterpieces or business power plays. The takeaway? Jay-Z thrives on calculated control, while Kanye walks the edge of unpredictability. Kanye's controversies may fuel headlines and viral moments, but they've come at a steep cost. Jay, on the other hand, plays the long game, rarely letting emotion interrupt his empire building. In the wealth race, that restraint may be Jay's biggest asset and Kanye's greatest liability. When it comes to shaping culture, both Jay-Z and Kanye West are undeniable forces, but they've left their marks in very different ways. Jay-Z built his legacy by becoming the ultimate symbol of evolution and self-mastery. From hustler to mogul, his story is one of strategic growth. He's not just respected in hip-hop, he's revered in boardrooms, universities, and political circles. He's performed at presidential inaugurations, brokered major sports deals, and created platforms to elevate Black ownership and excellence. Kanye, meanwhile, is a creative disruptor. He didn't follow trends, he made them. From producing iconic soul, sampled beats in the early 2000s to shifting the genre with auto-tuned emotion in 808s and Heartbreak, and redefining stadium performance with The Life of Pablo and Donda, Kanye has always pushed boundaries. In fashion, too, he made baggy neutral tones, oversized silhouettes, and ugly sneakers mainstream. He's inspired artists, designers, and even architects. Jay-Z's cultural influence is about refinement, growth, and empowerment. Kanye's is about provocation, innovation, and raw emotion. Jay builds institutions, Kanye builds movements. Both legacies are massive, but while Jay's may be more stable and enduring, Kanye's impact burns brighter and more erratic, sparking waves that continue to ripple across industries. Wealth isn't just about what you accumulate, it's also about what you give. Jay-Z has long used his resources to uplift others quietly but powerfully. Through his Sean Carter Foundation, he's funded scholarships, supported single parents, and helped low-income students access higher education. He also backs Reform Alliance, working to change unjust parole and probation laws alongside Meek, Mill, and other figures. Jay's moves are intentional, targeting systemic change in Black communities, criminal justice, and generational wealth. Kanye West's philanthropy is harder to pin down, more spontaneous than strategic. He's donated millions to families affected by police brutality, supported Black-owned businesses, and even attempted to build affordable housing structures through his Yeezy Home initiative. However, many of his philanthropic ventures suffer from the same issue as his business one's lack of follow-through. Grand gestures are often announced, but many remain incomplete or fade with time. In this arena, Jay-Z's influence is structured, consistent, and long-lasting, while Kanye's impact is more emotional and headline-driven. Kanye's heart might be in the right place, but Jay-Z's discipline gives his philanthropy greater reach and credibility. In the game of giving, one moves like a statesman, the other like an artist with unpredictable sparks. So who really wears the crown as the richest rapper? Let's talk numbers. As of the latest estimates, Jay-Z's net worth stands at over $2.5 billion. His fortune comes from a diverse mix of smart investments, Roc Nation, Tidal, Armand de Brignac, Deus Cognac, art collections, and major real estate holdings. Jay doesn't just make money, he grows it across industries, making him hip-hop's first. True billionaire mogul Kanye West, on the other hand, was once valued at over $2 billion, largely thanks to his Yeezy brand. But after his highly publicized fallout with Adidas and several luxury collaborators, his net worth reportedly plummeted to around $600 million. Despite this, he still holds valuable assets, music royalties, fashion IP, and brand recognition. But in terms of liquidity and stability, he's no longer in Jay-Z's league. The final verdict? Jay-Z wins the wealth game not just in dollar signs, but in consistency, strategy, and control. Kanye's empire, while brilliant, has proven vulnerable to volatility and controversy. Still, both men have redefined what it means to be a rapper. In the modern age, blurring the lines between music, fashion, business, and culture. Jay-Z may be the richest today, but in the ever-changing world of hip-hop, one bold move can change everything. And with Kanye, a comeback is always one headline away.